Today we are talking about comebacks. So for the last week, I have been sick with the cough and the congestion and all of this stuff. And so not able to put a post up or do a live, I really want to talk about what coming back looks like, coming back from sickness. So the best part is that when you have a good foundation laid, you can come back, be successful, and then surpass that sickness and get back to where you were. That being sickness, I told you guys in a lot of the classes and courses, is be prepared for it, because as soon as you start on your health journey, the enemy's going to come and you're going to get sick, you're going to get mentally confused, you're going to get all of the different things. And so sickness is what got me this time, and that's what we're going to come back from after that. In the Bible, Simon's mother-in-law actually gets sick, and that is in Luke 4:38 through 40, and I'm going to read it for you. It says, Jesus left the synagogue and went to the house of Simon. Now Simon's mother-in-law was suffering from a high fever, and they asked Jesus to help her. So he bent over her, rebuked the fever, and it left her. She got up at once and began to wait on them. And it talks about how quickly she healed. Even though we don't heal as quickly as it seems, it really is about getting back to the things that are normal. And when I talk about that, I want to talk about the expectation behind it. It's not like tomorrow I'm going to get up and be doing the exact same thing I was 2 weeks ago before I got sick, but setting that expectation that while you're sick, maybe just getting up, spending 10 minutes with God, getting a shower and some water and a quick bowl of soup, and then going back to bed for 3 or 4 hours, which isn't our normal, and therefore we don't think of the things that really impact us that we do daily are so much harder when we are sick. So setting our expectations when we're sick to make sure that we are getting in the things that we need to, which are really those foundational skills: our God time, our sleep, water, nutrition, and then when ready, some movement. So another thing I really learned being sick this time is, even though you're physically sick, there's two other parts, which is your mental and your spiritual. And those can really both play into it. So we talked about how Jesus healed Simon's mother-in-law from her physical ailment, but we also want to talk about the mental part of it. When you're sick and our lifestyles are so busy and active, one of the biggest things is the enemy will use that and really get inside your mental stability and say, well, look, now you can't even do your God time. You used to spend 30, 40 minutes in his presence, and today you can barely do 10. Are you even good enough? Does God even care that you spend that 10 minutes? And that mental part can really start to impact the things that you're thinking while you're sick. But we have to remember that God is in control, and he wants us to love him, trust him, praise him, and obey him. Nothing in there does it say that you have to spend 30 minutes talking to him and reading his word. And that's really the big thing. And that comes from Psalms 40:1 through 3. And I want to read that too. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he turned to me and he heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire, and he set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. And that really is, as we start to get back to our normal and start to do those things again, it really is getting back to the place of stability. One of those good things to start asking yourself is, you can kind of say that sickness comes from 3 different places. One is the Lord, and it's really to get your attention and really to say, hey, you might want to slow down. There's been numerous accounts in the Bible where God put an ailment on someone. Paul talks about his weakness is where the Lord makes him strong, and whether that was a sickness or an ailment, it really plays into that. God does allow us to get sick to either get our attention for different reasons. The enemy also allows us to get sick. If you look at Job, it really hinders the things that we think we're going to do or that we can do. And God will allow it for a specific reason or purpose. The last one is ourself. If we are constantly stressed out all the time and wearing down our immune system and not getting enough sleep, we can inflict sickness on ourselves, not practicing good hygiene. And so the big thing is not, well, why, Lord, are you letting these things happen? It's really, what can I learn from this? And that alone can change your mental attitude on what it looks like and how your comeback comes back. The last thing I want to leave you with today is Proverbs 24:16. And it says, for the righteous falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble into times of calamity. We're gonna have things happen. 7 times is probably the least amount of times that we're gonna fall, maybe even this year. And so it really is looking at your comeback. How do you get back into that? Back into the success you had, as well as surpassing it for the future. That Bible verse also really emphasizes the human capacity for recovery and resilience. We're gonna fall, we're gonna get back up, we're gonna fall, we're gonna get back up, and that even accounts in setbacks. So thanks for joining today, and I will see you guys next time.